Well, hello, hello, hello. Well, welcome once again to the Doctor of Digital podcast. And the next way that I'm going to cover is conflict, not between you and I, but conflict in your characters. This is going to be the eighth way of the 15 ways to improve and develop your creative writing. Way 8 is conflict. And welcome back. You've done a great job of getting to know your characters. And now it's time to apply the empathetic traits to the drama concept you are continuing to develop. How many times do you read about the Cinderella story, the story of the underdog, the story of the ordinary human being, often subjected to cruelty and ignorance and neglect, who somehow triumphs? Kenneth Branagh, and that is a quote from him. Objective for way 8: conflict, conflict, conflict. My advice: conflict is everything when it comes to telling an exciting story that keeps audiences interested and engaged in dramatic movies. In the drama genre, the conflict has to sustain the audience's interest because there are generally no explosions, laughs, or other crutches that other genres can go to. We talked about the beginning, middle, and end. In story structure, that translates to Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. To put it in the most simple of context, Act 1 is where the characters are chased up into a tree. Act 2 is where that tree is set on fire. Act 3 concludes the story by showing how the characters get off of that tree or don't. Act 2 is the meat of this conflict in the story, but the mere presence of fire that they have to escape isn't enough conflict. Instead, we metaphorically need to have antagonists that throw rocks at them while they are trying to escape. Then nature needs to kick in and blow wind at them, which makes the tree rock and feeds the fire with more oxygen. Now the characters have to not only survive the burning tree, they also have to dodge the rocks, avoid falling as the tree tries to shake them off, and they have to figure out a solution before the fire grows bigger and bigger. The single core concept that you've created isn't enough to sustain a whole screenplay. Lieutenant Dunbar was about to have his foot cut off in the beginning of Dances with Wolves. Then he put himself in danger during a suicide run, only to survive. Then he's sent out to the edge of the frontier and beyond with a disgusting guide. When he reaches the fort that he is to join, it is deserted. He decides to stay. Now he must build the fort back up, only to discover that a Native American tribe has found him. Now he must fortify the fort for battle. Later on, after he has integrated well into their culture and society, soldiers have returned to his fort. His diary, containing all of the details of his journey and integration within the tribe, is left at the fort, and he must go find it. The core conflict of your drama premise will get audiences into the theaters. The more conflict you add to that premise and throw at the characters will keep their butts on the edge of their seats laughing until the end. That conflict comes in the guise of hurdles, obstacles, twists, turns, surprises, and watching how the characters and their empathetic traits crash into the dramatic premise and the themes you plan on exploring. Exercise. Let's take your premise and the characters that you are starting to create and think up more conflict that you want to throw at those characters as they struggle to survive. You want to take the audience down one road to safety, only to flip it by blocking that road and forcing the characters to choose another route. Incorporate this train of thought into your own dramatic premises by continually mounting conflict after conflict against your protagonist. Assignment. On a sheet of paper or through software on your computer or device, take some time to record your thoughts on what additional conflicts your characters can come across as they deal with whatever core conflict the characters are dealing with. You can draw a visual reference chart or use a simple bullet point presentation that consists of a sentence or two of possible conflicts, obstacles, hurdles, setbacks, twists, and turns for each bullet point. If you are applying these lessons to a drama you've already written, read through it and mark where you have such conflicts or where you could insert more. We'll then take that, your synopsis, your character empathy list, and everything else you've worked so hard on and apply them to the next way's lesson. Well, that's it for way 8, which is conflict. And every story, I can't emphasize enough, is all about conflict, conflict, and more conflict. That's it for this particular episode of the Doctor of Digital podcast and way 8 of the 15 ways to improve your creative writing, thinking of novels, short stories, screenplays, or any other creative work. Until next time, Deus Volt.